Okay, I'm starting habitat improvements today on the home farm. Uh, just got through its 26th of February. This is the first decently warm week we've had. We had the long stretch of cold and ice that basically the whole country had. We had it here in Missouri too, so I stayed out of the woods. I was planning on this year to do a timber harvest. I was planning on 60 or 70 trees out of here, walnut, white oak. Talked to a buddy logger of mine. Turns out my timber we could do it, but a lot of my trees they're just right at that borderline, and I don't want to give them away. So as far as the timber harvest, we're going to wait 10 or 20 years. Maybe it could be a retirement bonus, or maybe my kids could benefit from it later on. But rather than since I can't do the timber harvest, what I'm going to do, this 40 acres has 30 acres of timber. It's basically a big hardwood draw that runs east and west, down this side, back up, and my house is up on the other side. But there's just not enough cover to hold deer into the late fall. I don't feel like, of course I'm holding a few does, got the food plot on the west end, got a good high deer population, but I want to hold deer. I want to bed bucks here, hold bucks here through the late part of the fall, December. As it stands now, I'm on the back corner of the farm. That's actually the corner of the property right there, the fence. My south neighbor and my east neighbor, two different neighbors, meet right here. But I could start walking down the draw, or down the hill from the other side, and deer over here could see me. And that's not going to work. This is actually one of the thicker areas. There's some tops and some brush in here. But I'm going to start on the back corner. Every 50 yards or so on both sides of the draw, I'm going to drop timber. Some of the less, some of the misformed oaks, red oaks, other trees, hickories and stuff that aren't a real timber value. I'm gonna put them on the ground, open up some timber, make sure it's not too thick, cut escape routes and stuff through, and I'm just gonna have pockets of cover all the way up and down this draw. As far as I'm concerned, that's the main priority for improvements this year. This is the second full year of working on the farm. Last year I concentrated on travel corridors, deer stand setups, had success, but we can do so much better. So anyway, that's the plan. I'm going to start laying down some timber. Got some other work to do on deer stands. Some of them I'm going to move, some of them I'm going to do away with, make changes, improvements to some of that. So there's a lot of work to do on the farm, but I'm starting with this. This is the hard part. I'm going to try to get it over with here next few weekends, and then move on to other projects. But I'll bring you along for all of it. Okay, I didn't get too carried away here, because like I said, that's already natural bedding back in there. I walked it real quick, just a little bit, trails and droppings everywhere. And on my neighbor, he's got that massive white oak. It's probably going to shade a lot of that out. Another big white oak back over there that's not going to allow a lot of sunlight to get in here, but it's a place to start. Back corner of the farm. I'm going to do this to varying degrees, 8 or 10 more times. Up the draw, got travel corridors, that side of the draw, up this side of the draw, about a dozen different stand setups, and that's what we're going to do. Okay, I just want to show a few of these created pockets of cover here. I'm just about 40 yards down the hill from the last one I showed. Still on the very back part of the farm, right near my neighbor's border. That's the neighbor over there, and this is a spot I had done some work before, but I decided it just wasn't enough canopy opened up, so I came in here and I dropped several these old elm trees. Some of this might be firewood at some point, but as you can see, opened up a huge part of the canopy right here. Got one big white oak right there, and then the creek is right there, and then I've got a sort of a bottom area, flat bottom of the draw, and I'm going to do some work there at some point. But right now I'm just working on this south side of the draw. It's a north facing slope. Another 50 yards up the hill, or down the draw, up and over is another one I'll show. Okay, here's another one. Just about another 50 yards down. Now when I'm dropping bigger trees, hinge cutting smaller ones, just creating cover. I'm not trying to create a specific bedding spot for a buck or anything like that, just creating opportunities. Opened up another big space of canopy here. Anytime I drop a tree across a trail, I'll cut that out and leave that, the natural deer flow, open. You can't tell it, but this gets pretty steep going down, and you can see my bottom over there. Like, I did some work there last winter, and everything I did last winter, it's just, it wasn't enough. You know, I was a little skittish, but this year I'm dropping some timber. So a few other, and I may come in here and, like that leaner there, and it needs to go. And then there's a widowmaker there. I'm not a professional logger. I can't always get them to fall the exact direction. But I'm getting better, and I may come in and drop some of this, a few more of these bigger ones. That one needs to go. Anyway, I'll go back up the hill. I'll show you one I did last year, and then the one I'm working on now. All right, this one was done last year. Opened up the canopy. Beautiful day, by the way. But anyway, big oak there, another elm there, big tree. There was a big walnut right over there that I laid down. Several locust trees over in here. 3 or 4 big cedars right there that I took out. This was actually a lot of work right here to open this up. Probably spent more time right here than I should have. But this is, we're at the top of the draw here. Got a natural bench right there, and there's actually some good natural bedding, and it's kind of thick over there. I mean, there's beds over there that I noticed today, and they've been there. You know, that's a perennial bedding spot. It's kind of a rocky point there. Last spot I showed you is just down the hill from that. Stand right there. It didn't really work out like I wanted to. May move the stand or change access, but anyway, we'll walk down around through there, and I'll pick it back up over there. Okay, this is sort of that natural bedding area I was telling you about. It's just the remnants of an old logging. You know, must have been, you know, 20, 30 years ago they logged this area. I can still some stumps and some tops, but I mean, this is the high point of the draw, and you can, it's just really thick right in there. So I didn't feel the need to do much with that. But another 40 yards or so from the last spot, this is where I'm working now. Ran out of chain oil, and my wife is picking me up some in town, so this will be the next spot. All those trees are coming out. That hackberry there, dropped a big locust there, hinging over some of these small ones. I've got a stand, 80, 100 yards over there, and it's a good spot. I like it, but again, it was one of those that just didn't work out. Only hunted it 2 or 3 times, but I feel like creating cover over here, you know, a little more secure bedding. I'm just trying to hold more deer. Old white oak there, it'll stay. Hopefully it's kind of a gnarly old thing, but I bet it produces acorns. Trail coming through there. I opened, you know, I didn't want to, opened it up. Trail coming down there, opened that up. But yeah, that tree's coming out. That walnut may even come out. Anyway, that's where I've got so far. I'm going to do this on this side of the draw probably 2, maybe 3 more times down that way. Then I'll cross the draw and do it another 4 or 5 more times. But that's where I'm at now. You can do one of these pockets, you know, in about 30-45 minutes with a good chainsaw. So a couple weekends I ought to have them done, but I'll show what I do.